Hello and welcome everyone. It is Monday, June 4th, 2018. Time for Jim Comics top picks of the week for our upcoming new comic book day. This week, Wednesday, June 6th, 2018. I initially called these my Tuesday top picks, but I'm just going to call them my top picks video because I'm going to try and put them out on Mondays if I can, just to give a little more time for people to absorb what I'm putting out there and look into stuff. So I'm going to run through my independents, my DC and Marvel books. As usual, I will give you a few of the top covers I'm looking at. I'll give you my top picks for the week. And I'll also, I can't remember who it was, somebody asked me for a spec book every week. So I'm going to, but try to keep the price kind of in that $20 or under price range. So I'm going to give my spec book this week. At the end there, so stick around for that too. Alright, so we'll get into it here. I'll start with my independents. Not a ton of independents I'm getting this week, but there are some that interest me. There's one really good one in there too. So start with Boom Studios. There's Garfield Homecoming #1. There's cover A. Again, you'll see images on the screen through all of this, obviously. Cover A is on the screen, and there's also a cover B. I don't expect this one to do a whole lot, but being a #1, I like to grab them. So in Boom Studios, print runs are usually pretty low. And one from Danger Zone. I've never ordered from Danger Zone, but this comic looked kind of cool. It's called Aberrant #1. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. There's two covers, but I'm only interested in cover A. Cover B was alright. I didn't like it though, so I'm not going to get that one. Dark Horse, I'm getting one comic from them this week. Sword Daughter #1. There's two covers. There's cover A, which you see on the screen, and then there's a cover B as well. So I'm going to get those. That one looks kind of interesting. From IDW, there's a John Burns Stowaway to the Stars special #1, which I'm going to get. I like John Burns. I liked his artwork back in the 90s. He did a lot, that whole Superman run and stuff, left Marvel, went to DC, and I like his stuff. This one looks kind of like almost like an illustrated story, so there'll be like a full page of like comic book art, futuristic comic book art, and then a whole written page beside it. So it's kind of like a novel with artwork. So it looks really cool. So I'm going to get that. From Image, Death or Glory is out. #2 is out this week. There's also a second printing of #1, but I'm not getting the second printing. I got enough first prints. I really like this title. It's a really good title. So I'm getting all three covers, A, B, and C. So A, regular covers on the screen. Then there's kind of a purple cover B. And then cover C is a version of the A cover. So I'm getting all three of those. Spawn 286 is out this week. It's a McFarlane cover. It's to be honest, it's not the best looking McFarlane cover I've ever seen, but it's a nice looking cover. And so the cover A is kind of a black and white ink cover, and then there's a ton of variants, and all the variants are the same image but just colored differently. So I don't know. I'm going to pick up the ones that I like. I may end up getting them all. We'll see, but use your judgment and pick what you want. But I mean, like I say, they're all the same image. I don't think there's any limited variants. I think they're you can buy as many as you want, so whatever. Like I say, I'm gonna get a few of them. There's a Martin one which is on the screen right now. I really like that one. It's just colored really nice, so that one I'm definitely gonna try and get. And then last one from Image is Walking Dead 180 is out this week, and I believe it's the end of that story arc. So it's New World Order story arc, and there's a regular cover and then cover B as well, and it's kind of a freaky looking cover B. It looks like the skin of another person on the face there, so it looks kind of cool. From Titan Comics, really good one to get from them. It's going to be one of my picks of the week this week too, is Brother Nash #1. There's cover A on the screen, as well as cover B, if you can get that one. My shop's got that one on order for me, so I probably won't get that this week. It'll probably be a week or two out, but try and get that one if you can. And if you can't, if you're interested in it, you may want to call your shop and have them order that for you, because they may not be bringing it in. It's one of those ones that a lot of shops aren't going to bring in. Lower print run. From DC, Batman 48, cover A. You see on the screen. Cover B's kind of a it's a Cho cover, but I think it's either a pencils or an inks. I'm not sure, but it looks pretty nice. So that one I'm definitely getting. Batman Prelude to the Wedding, Nightwing versus Hush. I'm going to grab one of those. Deathstroke 32, continuation of that story arc. That's a pretty good story, actually. Batman and Deathstroke. Cover A on the screen, and cover B is an absolutely gorgeous Matina cover. So yeah, that's one. I ordered those a while ago just because they're so awesome. And Justice League #1 launches this week, so that whole No Justice 4-issue miniseries ended last week, and that kind of leads right into Justice League #1 this week. And if you read No Justice, I'm not going to tell you what happened, but what happened in the end of that leads right into this, and it kind of infers that there's going to be a new evil coming, and not so much the Omega Titan. So there may be something popping up in this book. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But it looks. I really enjoyed that No Justice series. So there's cover A on the screen. It's just a regular cover. Cover B, it's a really nice Jim Lee cover. It's a regular cover, regular variant, so nothing limited with it. Looks really nice. So cover C is a blank cover. Cover D is a Jim Chung inks only cover. That's a 1 for 100. So these next few are going to a lot of shops may not have them, and they're going to be hard to find. But if you can get them for a reasonable price, pick them up. So starting with the Jim Chung inks only 1 for 100. If you can find that, get that one. There's a Jim Chung pencils only. That's a 1 for 250. So that one's, again, that's going to be tough to get. Cover F is a Lee inks only, but I'm not sure of the variant. This might be a regular variant or a 1 for 10 or something low, because the prices are pretty reasonable on this. You can still pick them up pretty cheap. So, and then cover G, which is the one I want to get, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get it. It's a Lee pencils, and it's a 1 for 500. So that one's going to be pretty tough to find. But if you can find any of those D through G cheap, I would try and pick those up. Man of Steel #2 is out, and I'm grabbing that. There's only the one cover, and it's surprisingly really good. It's a 6-issue miniseries, which is going to lead right into Superman #1 and everything. But it's a weekly series, which I really like these weekly series, because it's nice to kind of just read one and bang, next week you got another one, and you can keep going with the storyline. And the whole story is revolving around Rogol Zar, that character that apparently destroyed Krypton. So it's kind of rewriting the whole Superman storyline as far as how the planet was destroyed. So it's a good series. And Action 1000 was the first appearance of Rogol Zar, and last issue was second. So obviously this will be the third appearance of Rogol Zar. So it's a good one to get, and it's a good story too. Unexpected #1, that is out this week. Another one of those. I believe that's the last one of those DC's Age of New Heroes is that one. I'm going to grab one of those. And then Wonder Woman Annual #2, I'm picking that up this week as well. Just because that's Wonder Woman's leading into #50, and they got those new gods showing up. So into Marvel, Ant-Man and the Wasp, I don't know. I might grab cover A if I grab anything. I'm not getting any of the variants for this. I probably won't even get anything, but I might grab cover A. Deadpool there's a whole bunch of Marvel #1s coming out this week, so Ant-Man and the Wasp was one of them. Deadpool #1 relaunch is out this week. I'm going to grab cover A. There's a bunch of covers for this, so I'm going to run through them. I don't know if I'm going to get any of them. We'll have to see if my shop even has any, but that's not something I pre-ordered. I'm not a huge Deadpool fan, but some of the covers are nice. So cover A, and then there's the Deodato cover. I believe that's a 1 for 25. It's a really nice looking cover. There's a Liefeld 1 for 25, and surprisingly he actually drew feet on that, so it looks pretty good. That's a 1 for 25. There's a Scotty Young 1 for 25. I'm not a huge Scotty Young fan, so I probably won't even buy that if I saw it, but you never know. See what I feel like when I get there. There's another Scotty Young variant, but I believe that's just a regular variant. That might even be the cover B. There's an Opeña 1 for 50, and then you get into the Liefeld 1 for 500 and 1 for 1,000, which to be honest, the price that people are asking for those, I'd rather go spend that money on a nice Silver Age book. So I don't know, if you got the money, you want to buy it, you go ahead, but I'm not. Doctor Strange #1, that launches again this week. So you've got cover A. You've got a nice looking Delato cover B. I really like that one. Might pick that one up. And then there's a Bachalo 1 for 25, which I'm not really a big fan of. I didn't like the look of that one too much. Immortal Hulk #1. You've got your cover A, which is not a bad looking cover. You've got your connecting variant, party variant. You've got a Crane one for 25. I think I'm going to try and get that one. That's a nice looking cover. You got your Keone one for 50. Then again, you got your one for 500 and one for 1,000. You got a Bushima one for 500, and then a Bushima one for 1,000. And again, the prices on those are going to be stupid, and I'm not paying anything. So next up, you got Infinity Countdown #4, and this one is a must-buy, people. I don't normally recommend or tell you books are must-buy, but this one is a must-buy. In the background here, you can see I've got Infinity Countdown 1, 2, and 3, and each one of these in the main titles, not the tie-ins, but these ones, you have that one single page, the armor and the forge, and it's that little dwarf making what I mentioned was probably going to be a new Infinity armor, and you didn't know who it was that was forcing him to make this. I thought it was Loki, but there's an image on the screen you're going to see. It looks like it's actually Requiem, which was the new character that's showing up in that Infinity Wars coming out in August. Technically, this is going to now be the first appearance of Requiem, and not only Requiem, but the Infinity armor that the dwarf made. So you've got two first appearances in this in that single page at the beginning of this book. This is a must-buy, and the funny thing is with this, it reminds me a lot of Spider-Man 794. Nobody paid any attention to that until the Red Goblin got to be a big deal, and then all of a sudden people are like, holy crap, I got to go buy that book. And I recommended that one at the time, and it sat on the shelf for cover price for quite a while. Same with these Infinity Countdown. They're all sitting on the shelf at cover price. Nobody's paying any attention to them. And I recommended quite a while ago, well, I recommend every time one of these come out that you pick up these books because it's got that single armor and the forge page. And this issue, #4, with Galactus on the cover, you'll see that on the screen there, is the first appearance of Requiem and that Infinity armor, the helm that character wears. So buy that book. I can't stress that one enough. That one's going to go up. Maybe it won't go up right away, but once Requiem comes out and people kind of clue into the fact that holy crap, that's first appearance of Requiem, then it's going to shoot up. So get it while you can this week because you'll get it for cover price. Nobody's paying any attention to it. Moon Girl 31. That's the last one I'm grabbing from Marvel this week. There's a couple second prints out as well. I might look at those. So, I'm going to run through my top covers this week. My top covers are going to be Deathstroke 32, that Matina, the B cover. That is an absolutely gorgeous cover. Holy crap, is that nice. That's probably one of his best covers he's done. Gorgeous cover. I really like that Justice League, the Jim Lee cover. I like the color one actually, which is just your regular cover B. That's really nice. And also Spawn 286, the Martin cover, which you see on the screen there. So that's my three covers I'm picking this week. As far as my top picks this week, Infinity Countdown #4, which I just mentioned, that is a definite buy. Buy that book. I got a bunch on order. Brother Nash #1, cover A and B. If you can get those, try and pick those up. And the Justice League #1, the Chung and Lee pencils. If you can get those limited variants, grab those. So that is it for my new books. And then my spec book this week, like I say, I'm trying to keep these, the prices, what's $20 range and under. So this one, this came out in February of '93. It's It's Bloodshot #1. So this sat, geez, you could find this in the bins even a couple years ago for a couple dollars. Price is starting to really heat up on this just because there's rumors of the movie. So it's a really good one to get. And the interesting thing is, it is actually in the '90s, all the foil covers were coming out, and everybody wants foil covers. Of course, like they beat a dead horse until it, whatever. They just keep beating it. But anyways, this Bloodshot #1 was actually the first foil cover ever produced in a comic. So not only is it's Bloodshot #1, it's not his first appearance. Ray #0 was actually his first appearance, but it's his first solo title. #1, his first solo title, and it is the first foil or chromium cover ever produced in the comic world. So it's kind of a double whammy, and that price range on that is, you should still be able to get that under $20 easy. I mean, $10 range. I wouldn't pay more than $20 for it, that's for sure. I mean, I paid cover price for it back in the '90s. So anyways, that's kind of a good one to get. talk to you later, everyone. Happy hunting this Wednesday, and I will see you on Thursday. Bye for now.